Hey guys, it is Monday here in West Virginia, so it's time for us to do our Mopar Monday as always. And today we're unboxing the new Walmart exclusive model kit of the 72 Dodge first gen pickup. The reason I brought these O'Reilly's ones back out is to show you that if you cannot find one of these, you can actually make the 72 model kit into one. So as you can see here, we have three here. I unboxed one the other week. I was highly disappointed because I seen it had some tampo flaws on the lower white tampo on the passenger side, and it had a run in the bed. So I had to order another one. And then I found another deal on one that came with the other O'Reilly's exclusive, which I didn't have, which is the Turtle Axe one, for a price that was very hard to turn down. So I bought it also. And probably in a week or two, we'll do the unboxing on the Turtle Axe one for you guys. But as you can see, I've customized one of them. I swapped it out, put a slam chassis on it. And you can see it is the O'Reilly's one. It has a 74 grill. And you can see the logo on the tailgate. Dodge is off to the passenger side, whereas the 72 you'll see is right dead in the center and a little bit bigger. But besides those two little things, the paint is pretty much the same, and all you would have to do is find a not two-wheel drive, but a four-wheel drive donor pickup. And a lot of the four-wheel drive trucks out there, I just looking, most of them are 74s. So you probably could just take the truck, swap the grills, and then swap the base, and you would have this O'Reilly's exclusive. The only difference that would be able to show is the emblems maybe on the fender leg and the way Dodge is written across the tailgate. That's why I brought these back out, just to point that out to you, because I know those O'Reilly's exclusives, this guy is very hard to find right now. There's hardly any on eBay. That's why I'm glad I got the ones that I did when I did. But now they're pretty far and few between. So here's the new kit. As you can see, same color combo. As I mentioned, just the only difference would be like your emblem on the fender leg. As you can see, it's right there. Is different than what we have on this O'Reilly's one. And then on the tailgate, you can see how the Dodge is written there compared to the Dodge on that one. But if you had to, you could make one. So anyways, we've got it cut open. I have not removed this from the box yet. I just cut the back of it so we could take it out and look at it together, because a lot of times it's just hard to get all this stuff back in there. So there's the paperwork, the Dodge logo there. And then I'm going to turn this like so, and then try to get the insert out with the wheels and tires. There we go. Everything slid out pretty nice on that. So anyways, we'll go ahead and get this out of there. And pretty much the only thing you got to do to this, you actually have to disassemble part of it before you can assemble the rest of it. In some cases, sometimes you can just slip the axle through and pop the wheel on and you're done. So it's not always necessary to drop the chassis again, but you might as well. It's easy, and it's easier to assemble the wheels and stuff. But let's go ahead and get the tape off the sides here. Let me get that off camera. They do put tape on the side here, so it doesn't like dump out when you remove it from the package. That's kind of what is being a little bit leery of. I removed it so carefully because of that reason. I didn't want everything spilling everywhere in case the tape wasn't on there or stuck on there pretty good, but this time it was. And as always, they give you enough axles to actually do both wheel sets. As you can see, there's 4 axles here. So you could do both wheel sets and put the set on another vehicle, the set that you don't use, however, and then, or just put them away for this truck later on. And they give you both engines you have your original, which in 72 probably would have been like a 440 big block in the truck, or maybe like a 318. I'm not sure what it would have had in it from the factory in 72. Probably a 440. And then you have the modern day, they say 392 supercharged Hemi. So you have those two choices, and then you have like a slot style wheel and a turbine style wheel. Today, I think I'm going to go with the turbines on this one because I already assembled this guy here with slots. So, and later on, if you change your mind, you can always swap them around. It doesn't really matter. That's one thing I love about the M2s, because they're so easy to customize and give them a whole different look if you get tired of the way one looks. So that makes it very convenient that these things are screwed together, so you can do a lot of customizing stuff to them. And then the other extra wheel set I have, though, I'm using on my Green Machine Ram Charger that we unboxed the other week. I'm going to take the green wheels off and put some chrome ones on it. I don't like the green wheels. The green spare tire I'll probably leave on it, but the wheels that it rides on definitely need to be changed, because those you can see pretty easily when it's on display. The spare you don't really notice that much. I do not like the handle of this new screwdriver that they gave me with this kit. It's weird. It's kind of like square instead of being round like the other ones. I don't know why they changed the design of the screwdriver, but yeah, it's not so easy to use. Yeah, let's see, there's one out of there, and then I'm just looking off to the side to see if my other M2 screwdrivers are handy, because this one sucks. Alright, so the truck is loose now, and we'll finagle him out from underneath the lift and throw the lift off to the side and such, and then it will be easier now to see these guys next to each other. As you can see, identical paint and such. And then if you flip them around, the only difference is the way the Dodge logo is located, and then of course your grills. And then this one does have a vanity plate on the front, or just the letters 1974 on the front plate and on the back plate too. So that's another thing you could always, maybe it doesn't. Yeah, it does. It's just kind of hard to read. There's something on it, or it's smeared or something. But anyways, yeah, it would be real easy to make your own O'Reilly's exclusive. So guys, what I'm going to do is we're going to open the hood here. Try to anyways. And then try to find something to help me open that hood. Usually these little plastic brick rods, the pieces from them are good to kind of work in there and try to get that hood open if possible. So anyways, I'm going to try to push maybe the, I don't think I can. It's boxed in underneath. I was going to try to push the hood open from the bottom, but you can't because it's boxed in. Yeah, I really do not like this screwdriver. There we go. All right. Another downside about the 4x4s too is the way that the bumpers are. They use male ends that go into the hole, whereas the drop chassis use female ends because the exhaust tips go through and the bumper mounts onto that. That's why this one, the bumper is loose, and it's kind of pushing the bumper off because I cut those down as far as I could, the exhaust tips, but still there's a little bit on it, and it's pushing on the metal ends on the bumper, kind of pushing it out. But you could fix it. You gotta cut those metal ends off and just glue the bumper on. I did that with my Pro Street truck. So that solved my problem for that. But this one, I didn't do that because, as I mentioned, I'm not sure, like if this is a permanent fix or not. So I'm getting out our turbine wheels and tires so I can assemble that. And I was going to put the modern day Hemi in it if we can get that hood popped open. And I'll set these other ones off to the side, the ET slots and the stock carbureted engine. And let's see here. I'm surprised I couldn't get that open with the... That one's... There we go. Saying that one's really in there. Basically, then all you do is take the engine, and I dropped it, butterfingers. So you just take the engine and slide in here, and then just push down a little bit. There's 2 nipples on the engine. Let me see here. 2 metal ends that go into the female ends inside the engine compartment, and I think that's it. Yeah, they went through. You can kind of see them sticking into the hole. So there is your modern day Hemi inside of the old school 72 Adventure. Pretty cool. And now the hood's closed again and probably will not open for a while. I don't really open the hoods on these very often because they're a little bit tight. I'm always scared about getting one that has a weak casting where the hinge will break off the hood or something like that. My Pro Street Dodge that I did, one of the hinge pieces did break on its hood, but luckily for me, I'm running it hoodless because it has the like 871 supercharger on it with carbs and such sticking out of the hood, and the motor's kind of raised up, so even the valve covers stick out of the engine compartment a little bit, so there's no way I could even get a hood on there if I wanted to. So let me try to get these axles out. They do wrap these axles really, really good. Alright, so there's 3, 4, and 5. Oh, they give you an extra one in case you lose one. That's nice, actually. Now, to see if these are all the same length. I think they are, but I just want to be sure. I guess they are. If not, they're very, very close to being the same length. So, anyways, you have 4 wheels here. 2 are a little bit wider than the other 2. Same thing with your tires. Not a huge difference. So sometimes it's hard to tell. But these 2 right here are the wider back tires, and these are the deeper wheels. So they're not as obvious as like the Pro Street wheels and tires that are used on some cars, like like the Purple Adventure Pro Street that I have, that I made. Now those are super wide tires, very obvious. These Pro Touring style setups are a little bit harder to notice, but so yeah, the tires are a nice soft compound. I've had some that had a really stiff compound and were really hard to put on the rim. But lately, the kits that I've been getting of these Dodge trucks have been pretty nice. They seem to bend and move with how you need them to be, and to get them to pop right up on the rim. So there are the 2 front ones. So once again, go ahead and we'll take the axle, and I usually work it on one wheel, and this may be a little bit hard. Let me get a pair of needle nose. Sometimes, like these ones, they do not put any barbed ends on them, so it's just smooth, and sometimes it's a little bit harder to work on the axle. You know what, I'm going to try one of these axles here. Seems to be a little bit longer, just a hair bit longer, not much. And then I just kind of work it back and forth, try to keep it as straight as possible to get it to start on there. And we got it to start a little bit, and then just push him through the hole, I guess. Here we go. Whoops. There we go. All right, so then this guy here, same thing, just kind of work it back and forth, try to push it on as straight as you can while working it back and forth, and then it's not perfect, but it'll do for right now. So once again, we'll do the same thing with the back. Just take it and try to start it. I don't know if that's enough or not, but I just hold it still, the needle nose, and push and work it back and forth like that, and then slide him through. Then you take the other one, get it lined up, and try to work it on like that, and there you go. Then you just take the body and put right back on there, and then that is it. You put your screws back in. I still have to work on those wheels a little bit, but there you are. That's it. That's your model kit assembled. And as I said, just a couple little fine details you could kind of change. Now, another thing I noticed on the O'Reillys, and I don't know why they're all like this. As you can see, there's 3 of them here. The bottom paint is more of like an eggshell white to almost like a whitish gray, where this is a very bright, vibrant white like the roof. And this also has a bright, vibrant white roof, but the rocker paint is a little bit different. So there's a couple things people will be able to tell if you did custom make one, but it's not too obvious if it's just sitting in your display case. It would kind of look like you have your O'Reilly's exclusive. So, guys, that's it for today. Sorry for taking so long. I just wanted to show you how to do this step by step and give you the pointers. If you can't find the O'Reilly's one, that you can make a replica in the meantime until you can find one, because these model kits are just hitting Walmarts nowadays this past couple weeks. So pretty soon they'll be all over the place, and you'll be able to get them pretty reasonable on eBay. Much more reasonable than the O'Reilly's truck. So, but good luck with both of them, finding both of them. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll be back definitely on Friday for a Free It Friday, but we will probably be back between now and then to do something else for you. Thanks, guys.